Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn about compound assignment operator, and we'll build a simple program that adds points when a user hits limit score. So without further ado, let's create our new project. So we are going to create here a new project, and we are going to call this compound assignment operator. So now we have to select here a JDK vision, and we don't change anything here and click finish. So our project is going to build, and we're going to start when it finishes. So now let's open up this, and we're going to locate here a folder called kotlin, and we are going to create a new project, a new file. So now we are going to create a kotlin class, and here we're going to call this file. We're going to select file here and not class, and we are going to call this main. So now we have created here our main file. We are going to start now to compute our code. So as you can see here, compound operators are used to assign a variable while performing arithmetic operations. So for example, now let's first declare here a main function, since it is our main entry to our program. So for example, if we declare here variable equals to 1000, so if we want to reassign this variable by adding 100 points more from this variable x, so for example here, if we want to add this 100 points to this 1000 here, we'll have to call x, and we are going to call x plus 100 points. As you can see here now, if we try to print out this, now let's try and run this application and see what's going to be printed here. As you can see here, we have got 1100. As you can see, this was the way which we are going to add these points to this one, but this is not a good way of doing this one. So there are different types of assignment operators, which are additional operators. We have the subtraction, we have the multiplication, the division, and the mod operator. So let's see how we can use them in Kotlin. So let's collapse this one, and we are going to create here this. We have to delete this. So we create a variable, for example here x, and we're going to assign this to 100. So if we want to add 100 points to this point, so we are going to call x, then we add 100 points. So now here what we are basically doing is the same as calling x equals to x plus 100, but now we are not doing this repetition of writing x and x again. So for example here again, if we try to print this, it's going to, so here we are going to call this x, so now this is going to print our variable x here after adding them. So we have used here a $sign in order to access this variable here, and this is called a string template. We have talked about this before. So now as you can see here, we are adding 100 points to this 100. So right now this will print 200. So the other assignment operator which we have used, the compound operator, is the subtraction. So we are going to deduct 100 points again to this variable. And again here, this is the same as writing x equals to x minus 100. Now if we try again to print this command, let's just copy this one, and now we are changing just this, we minus by 100. So we are going to see this when it's print. Also let's try about this, the division operator. So for example here again, if we are going to divide this by 2, it's going to print us, let's see what's going to print. So now what we are calling here is we have divided by 2. So also you can use the multiplication operator here. So now we are going to print again when x is multiplied by 2. And as you can see here, we are using var keyword and not val. So this var is meaning that we can reassign this variable at any point when we want. As you can see here, we have reassigned, but if we change this value to val, it's going to bring us an error. As you can see here, we cannot reassign this value. So for those who don't know, this was the bonus tip. So now we are going to print again this by multiplying this by 2. So we have got our answer. So basically here we are getting also 100 because we have divided by 2 and multiplied by 2. So let's use a mod operator and see. For example, here we want to see if this value is going to print an even or odd. So we are going to print this by using the mod operator, and we are dividing this also by 2. And let's see here. So if this value here is going to be 1, this is going to be an odd number. If it is 0, it's going to be an even number. So let's try and learn this and see what's going to print. Now our code has finished to execute. As you can see here, now we have used this one, which has given us to 200 because this is the first println command here, and it has added 100 points here, and we have 200. Also, we have minus to 100 point from this x because here we have already reassigned this, and the value of x now is 200, so it has minus this to 100. And now as you can see here, we have divided this by 2. Now we have this to 50. Now if we multiply again this by 2, as you can see here, we get 100. And this number, as we have seen here, if you use the mod operator, because there is no reminder when divided by 2, we know that this is an even number. So this was the quick way on how you can understand these compound assignment operators. And so let's build this the hit limit score. When a user limit a score, we are going to add 100 points. So let's see how we can build this. Now let's call up this. So now let's create a Maxi score counter functionality. So we are going to delete this because we don't want this again. So now we can see here we have this. We have to declare a new variable here. So we are going to call this current score. So we're going to assign this value with 200. Now we can declare here a val, and I'm using this val because we are not going to change this limit score. So we know that our limit score is 300. So we are going to use a simple if-else statement. I know we have not touched about this one, but it's just a simple way, and in the next video we are going to speak a lot about how you can use these if-else statements. So now we are going to use a simple check. Now we use this if, and we check that if current score is greater than the limit score. Now we know that if this is going to be true, that current score is greater than limit score, so it's going to execute the code inside this block. So inside these two curly braces, the code here will be executed. So we are going to call this that current score, and we want to add 100 points. As we can see here, we used a compound additional assignment operator in order to add what? 100 points to the user, and we are going to print to let the user know that we have added 100 points to your current score. So we are going to call you have win 100 points, 100 extra points. Now this is going to be executed if this is equal to true. Now let's create here another println command. So we are going to print again here to let the user that your current score, now your current score is, and we use this the string template in order to access the current score. So if we try to run now our application, because we know here it is 200 and 200 is not greater than 300, this is going to be false, so nothing is going to be executed here. So it's going to execute the code after this if statement. So let's try and run our application here, and we are going to see that it's going to execute the code after this block here. Now, as you can see here, it has printed that our current score is 200. Now, as you have seen here, we have reassigned, we have escaped to print this because it is not true. So now we are going to print here. Let's assume here our current score is 400, and this one is going to be calculated from a user, maybe is playing a game. So now we are hard coding this for learning purposes. So let's try and run our application and see how it's going to print. Now, as you can see here, it has printed two print statements, this one and the second one, because this test is true. So you have win 100 extra point. Now we know that our point was 400 before. Now our point has been added with 100, and now we have 500 extra points. So this was the quick way on how you can use these compound assignment operators, and you can use them in games and other operations. So if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and smash that bell icon, and don't forget to like this video. Thank you for watching, and